Hey, welcome to Fort Worth, Texas. We're here at NI Connect 2024. My name is Hayden Nelson. I'm the radar system test engineer here at National Instruments. And today I want to show you some of the latest capabilities in our PXI platform for radar tests, specifically our radar target generator software package for the vector signal transceiver. So, just to get started here, I want to show you kind of the hardware. Here we have a PXI chassis with multiple vector signal transceivers in it. I actually have two. And a vector signal transceiver is an RF generator and a transceiver, a transmitter and a receiver, or a generator and an analyzer. And its default mode, it's a spectrum analyzer signal generator. It's really kind of software-defined instruments such that, we can have it act as a standard piece of test equipment. Then we could put a new personality in here that make it act as a closed-loop radar target generator. So here on the right, I'm actually using this vector signal transceiver I'm kind of emulating a radar, if you will. And, radars operate that they send pulses, look for reflections, look for Doppler, kind of basic radar, right? And so I'm actually generating pulses going into this VST, which is acting as a target generator. And then I'm applying delay, Doppler, attenuation, and actually some electronic attack techniques using this coprocessor. So I'm doing both emulating targets, but also some people maybe trying to interfere with those targets. So that's a really unique test use case that if I'm testing a microwave radar, I may want to test it with really clean targets and then also with targets amidst things that are not supposed to be there or clutter or things of this nature. And so here I can emulate all that with this second VST. So up here, we'll take a look here. This is our kind of radar emulator, and across the x-axis here is time. So kind of like time is equivalent to range, if you will. And then on the y-axis is frequency. So whenever a plane's moving or a target's moving, it'll impose a Doppler on the reflected signal, so we can visualize that here. So let me turn on a few targets here. And so I turn on a couple targets, and you'll notice I turned on 3 of them. There's 1, 2, 3. And so I have them at 2 at the same range, and 1 is at a little slightly further range. And then you'll see all this other stuff here that's kind of like, what is that? Well, that's some of that coprocessor, call it electronic interference that we're putting into our test scenario. But, so we're able to get these very, clean, deterministic, precise targets. But these are all static. So they're sitting still. And in the real world, planes don't typically sit still. So I can actually come in here and have a list of pre-configured parameters. I'm going to kind of reload that here to list mode. And then I'm gonna run a script technique where I'm actually gonna have 4 targets, but it's gonna start out with them right on top of each other, and then they're gonna split. And this is kind of what's called like a range gate pull-off technique. We'll have 2 targets right on top of each other, and then one of them will be moving, and then one will pull off from it. And so whenever I run this, we can kind of see here that these 2 targets here, this one here is splitting into 2. This one here split into 2, but it also changed in Doppler as well. So it's both going down in Doppler and in range. And so this is a relatively difficult technique to test against. And so it's like on an open air range. And so we are able to duplicate these types of test scenarios over and over and do a lot more test scenarios than would be feasibly possible on an open air range, allowing you to test your radars at RF, more precisely in the lab and do more testing in the lab. So once you actually take it to mission, it'll, have a lot more confidence and trust that it's going to work the way it's supposed to. Anyway, well, I appreciate your time. This is the NI radar target generator. If you want to learn more about the VST, go to ni.com/VST. Learn more about our radar target generator, go to ni.com/radar. I appreciate your time.